Here's this guy, he's doing all this great stuff most women would kill to have a more active partner. I had a different kind of problem, and I didn't really give a shit if it made me feel small. I needed to say it. We had to clear the air. And Doug always made me feel better about those things, always.
How did you meet your husband?
We were set up.
Really?
So I was a young cub reporter at Fox, and he was running his own business. He had started a company from New York, but it was based in Florida. And we were set up on what was a blind date for me, not so much for him. That's kind of a great story because this woman who did PR work for his firm sent me an email saying, Megan, I have no idea what your situation is, but I know this great guy. She gave me his resume, like he went to Duke, he went to Georgetown for his MBA, he sounded smart. He's great looking. And we all love this guy, super nice guy. And I had just gotten out of my first marriage. And I almost deleted the email. I literally had the finger on the delete button. And the last second, something made me hit save instead.
Wait a minute. So a random publicist just, saw you on the air?
I guess she got my email. I think she'd done some work for Fox.
And was like, oh, this woman would be perfect for my boss?
She was traveling with him on an airplane, and they saw me pop up doing a report on Duke lacrosse and that fake rape case. And they got to talking about that story because Doug went to Duke and me, and she, I guess he must have said some favorable things. And so she shot me an email like, he expressed interest, I guess. And it's just so crazy because Doug came into my life when he was 34 years old. He did have that nice resume. He was running a company. He came from a very nice Philadelphia family, not snooty, just a nice family. And he'd never been married. It was just, he's very good looking. I think the audience will Google Doug Brunt. You will see. I'm not just being a proud wife. He's really a great looking guy. And I was like, he's gay. He's a serial killer. He has a secret wife. That's obvious. Every lady knows that doesn't just come to you after your divorce when you're 34 or 35 years old. It doesn't happen. So I was like, I guess I can give it a try until I find the bodies buried in the basement, but we'll have a good run till then. And so we went on our first date. I brought a friend who hid in the bar, like she was down at the end of the bar, making sure he wasn't a freak stalker. And he wasn't a freak stalker. He's kind of nerdy, actually, in a really sweet way. And we hit it off instantly.
How long did it take for you guys to get engaged?
He moved fast. We started dating in July of 2006. Is that right? Yes. And he proposed to me in September of 2007.
How'd he propose?
He took me to the end of the dock in the Jersey town where he grew up going in the summers, and he took off his sunglasses. We were sitting on a bench. He got down on one knee and proposed with a big fake, dime store 25-cent ring. Beautiful. It was scary. That moment was scary, Shawn, because I was not thinking about getting remarried. I had just gotten a divorce.
Total surprise.
Total surprise. He ran it by my mom, and my mom was like, have you run this by Megan? Because I'm not sure. And he was like, whoa, what do you mean? But, it was one of those things, I'm learning how to play Mahjong. Do you ever play Mahjong? It's becoming a thing.
Man, back in Windows 95 era.
It's becoming a thing in both of my communities where I go in the summers and where I am at home in Connecticut. And, when you get the little card, you have to say whether you want it or the tile or not. You got it, there's no do-overs. If the tile's there, you got to click on it or you never get it again. So it might have been a little early for me, the proposal, but in retrospect, I thank God I said yes, because I don't know if we would have had Thatcher, my third kid. I had him when I was 42. That's already kind of old. What if I had waited? Maybe there wouldn't be a Thatcher, so Doug's instincts were dead on.
So you guys have been married for 16 years?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What do you think the key to a successful marriage is?
I definitely think it's using your most generous lens on your partner. trying to interpret all behaviors through the lens of he loves me and I love him. That helps with so many things. And I also think it's important to say the thing that you don't want to say. Not to be intentionally hurtful, but we don't really have a lot of conflict now. But when I was on Fox in the prime time and Doug was doing more than his fair share of everything going on with the young kids, he was never like a stay-at-home dad. He always had stuff going on, but he had a job that allowed him to be at home more, and so he necessarily was doing more. He never got resentful really of me, actually. He was always very supportive. He's just a cool guy, but I got resentful of him.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't like that the kids go to your side of the bed in the middle of the night. I don't like that you've shown them all these movies that, I'm not around to see. Now you have your own little language with them about the fun things you've done. I don't like when I'm having a one-on-one conversation with them and you come in and join. I need my own one-on-one time with them. Get out, And I didn't really want to say all those things make me feel, even to this moment, like a very petty person, Like, here's this guy, he's doing all this great stuff. Most women would kill to have a more active partner. I had a different kind of problem. And I didn't really give a shit if it made me feel small. I needed to say it. We had to clear the air. And Doug always made me feel better about those things, always, And then when I finally righted my life and got more balance into where I could be a more active mother, I realized it's not so thrilling to have them come over in the middle of the night and wake you up. It was, I didn't know how good I had it. Go bother your father.
How long did it take you to find that balance? Did you find it at Fox, or was it after your what would I call it, mainstream?
I mean, I left Fox for a bunch of reasons, but the number one reason was I needed to raise my own children. They were 7, 5, and 3 when I left, and I hadn't missed it. I'd missed a lot.
Yeah.
But I hadn't missed it. And, it's just, if people don't understand that, it's like I can't explain it to them. Like, there's only one time that you can raise them. That's it.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it all the time.
Once you've missed it, you've missed it.
Yeah. I'm realizing how fast it actually does go.
You have to prioritize
It's terrifying.
it. Yeah, you have to. Like, and I remember when I was thinking about leaving Fox, I sat next to some gazillionaire at some event. We were both like doing a speech someplace or something, and he was talking about how he spent all of his kids' 18 years of formation on the road and earning the money, and they have a private jet and all this stuff. And he was like, I screwed up. It wasn't worth it. I wish so much I had done it differently. And I was like, this is an angel sent to me at this moment in time when I can make a different choice.
Wow.
I had the NBC offer to go do something that, as we now know, was a very poor fit, but in my mind was just an off-ramp. It was like, I can get out of the toxic world of politics, which, if you know anything about 2016 in my life, was extremely toxic for me that year. I can be with these beautiful people who need me. I can talk about stories that are uplifting. I thought it'd be more like an Oprah type show where we, talked about changing people's lives. And I took it. I was scared to take that leap, but I knew changing my hours and my schedule and my overall setup had to be done.
How does your, if you don't mind me asking, how does your husband deal with the fame and notoriety that you have?
He's very good about it. I mean, he said once something like, every few months, Meg will say something that upends our life, and then we have to deal with that. But for the most part, it has more positives than negatives. People are so nice. Look, I have just a small level of fame, if that's the word we want to use. It's like people recognize me, but they're very respectful. No one's ever nasty. I mean, they used to be more when I was on Fox. But the percentage of nastiness is less than 1. The percentage of kindness is all 99. And the percentage of intrusions into my personal time that are unwanted is almost none. People are pretty good about reading whether you are approachable in that moment or not. If I'm with my kids, they leave me alone. I've noticed if I'm with Doug, they usually leave me alone too. If I'm on my own, they feel more comfortable coming over. But some of that's nice. It's like a little ego boost. They come over, they say all lovely things. Then they say, I'm sorry. I said, what are you apologizing for? I said all these beautiful things to me, right? Made me feel good. But I can go places. I don't have to worry. It's just, I feel like I'm right at a good level where I can pay my bills and I can sort of have a microphone and people want to listen to it, but people are so respectful, and it's not, I can't imagine how like truly, well-known people live.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.